Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to respond when someone is giving you attitude. Since there are several different ways to do this, I'm going to break it down into 3 levels: polite responses, neutral responses, and finally, strong responses. Let's begin with polite responses. The first thing you could say is, "Let's talk another time. I don't want this conversation to escalate any further." You could also say, "The way you are talking to me isn't very nice." And finally, you could say, "You're hurting my feelings." These are all great ways to politely remind people that you don't like their behavior, while also minimizing the likelihood that things will escalate. Now, let's move on to neutral responses. With these responses, you're not being nice, but you're also not being mean. The first thing you could say is, "There's no need for this. Let's keep it civil." You also have the option to say, "I don't like the way you are talking to me. This conversation is becoming disrespectful." And finally, you could say, "Let's take a step back. We don't have to do this." Now, let's talk about strong responses. These responses are much more direct. You would use these responses when someone is going too far. The first thing you could say is, "You're crossing the line. You can't talk to me like this." Or you could say, "I'm done with this conversation. Bye," if you want to leave. You also have the option to say, "Your behavior is way out of line." And finally, you could say, "You have no right to talk to me like that. This conversation is over." Well, that's it for today's video, guys. If you found this lesson useful, please hit the like button and subscribe.